that was my first time driving the Ioniq 5N. But let's start from the beginning. So the Hyundai Driving Experience is where Hyundai brings some of their high-performance cars in their N brand and they let you drive them on a racetrack. They host this event all around the world, but this year I got lucky enough to be invited to Sonoma with them. So on day one of this 2-day event, they put you up in this really nice hotel called the Lodge in Sonoma. So like last year, they gave a bunch of goodies this year, including this poster of the Ioniq 5 and Elantra N at Sonoma, this waterproof backpack with a fold over top, which is pretty cool, and another diecast model of their Elantra TCR car. For the rest of day one, they go over this quick presentation about their program and some safety items, and then afterwards, they serve you dinner, and this dinner is really, really good. Like, just look at it. So after a good night's rest, they take you up to Sonoma, and this is day 2, which is the actual driving day of the experience. So in the lobby, they brought some really cool cars, including the Ioniq 5N they raced at Pikes Peak this year, the RN24, which is their prototype car, which is an Ioniq 5N in a very small package, and then they also had an Elantra N TCR car. So after this, they split us into some groups, and we got to the actual driving part. So since this event is hosted for people with various driving skills, they take the first half of the day to put you through a couple exercises to get you more comfortable with the car. This first one is a hard acceleration with 100% brake pressure. The second one is a moose test, so it is getting comfortable with turning at speed. And the instructors are really good about giving you feedback and also educating you on how these skills apply not only to track driving, but also daily driving.
There you go.
And this exercise is braking while turning. So the instructor has you accelerate up to speed, turn in, and then... And I really like this event because as an inexperienced driver, it really puts you through all of the basics and really contextualizes it in how you should drive while driving on the track. And as a more experienced driver, it gives you a lot of great seat time, and I'll mention more about this later.
47, head up.
Now what I was really looking forward to this year was driving the new Ioniq 5N, which is their first EV model and it has over 500 horsepower. The first exercise they had us do with the Ioniq 5N is they took us out to the skid pad and they let us practice controlling oversteer or drifting. Unfortunately though, as you can saw from the first clip, I was really not good at this, but I later discovered it's because I had the car with the regen braking on, and if you don't know, in an EV, if you take your foot off the throttle, it basically uses the motors to start braking, and in the case of drifting, it really messes with the weight balance and causes you to spin out a lot.
It's hard.
Fortunately, we figured this out later, and my co-driver was able to get the car to drift.
I also grew up in New Hampshire, snow, so I got some amount of...
And the last event for the morning was an autocross course with the Ioniq 5N, which is a cone course in like a parking lot. This was probably my favorite event of the day because not only does it let you drive at your skill level, but they also record your times and you compete against your group mates, which was really fun as well. The 5N is also a really fun car to drive. Not only is it punchy like an EV should be, but it also gives you a lot of feedback, making it easier to control. And after this, it's easy to see why people say that this is the best EV they've ever driven. After the morning sessions, you take a break for lunch, and again, the food is really, really good. And then finally, after lunch, for the rest of the afternoon, it's all track time. They let you take out the Ioniq 5N for a session and then the Elantra N for multiple sessions after on Sonoma Raceway, probably one of the most famous racetracks in the world. This is all lead follow style though, which means that you're kind of limited on speed based on how fast your instructor will let you go or how fast your group is. This was unfortunate for me because on the first run of the day, everyone wasn't really confident on driving on the track, so my Ioniq 5N runs were really kind of slow, but the car itself was really fun to drive on track, so can't complain too much. As I said before, you get a ton of seat time. While I was editing this video, I had an hour and a half of track time alone. That's 3 sessions of the Elantra end and 1 session of the Ioniq 5 end. And each session on track is about 5 to 6 laps. And that's not including the morning sessions, in which I probably had another hour of footage, and I didn't even record all of the sessions I did in the morning. So just goes to show you get a ton of seat time at this event, and this really sets it apart from other driving experiences. When I talked to a couple people there, they've done the Porsche driving experience and the BMW driving experience, and they both complained about not having enough seat time with the cars to really improve, which makes this event really good. And before I forget to mention, the best part about this event is that it is 100% free. From what I could figure out, they send this email out to certain groups like Hyundai owners in California, but you can also just sign up for their newsletter and then you'll get the invite for the Hyundai Driving Experience in Sonoma. So they provide the food, the hotel, the track time, the tires, the brakes, the cars, and the instructors, all free to the participants. And as a little aside, as you can notice, the Ioniq 5 end makes noise, and you can have this noise on the outside, but you can turn this off as well. So I just thought it was funny that when these cars pass by, some of them are making noise and some of them went completely silent. So yeah, I really enjoyed this event, and I look forward to coming back next year. I hope you got to see what kind of happens at the Hyundai Driving Experience, and maybe I'll see you there. At the end of the day, we got to use the Elantra ends, which we got to drive a little bit faster. So I'll let this lap play through, but otherwise, thanks for watching.
Okay, this will be the last lap.